Today, I want to show you the most effective, fastest classifier you'll ever see, but it's also one of the cheapest. Just going to use my new tripod. It's a really good tall one. It's a really good tall one. Yes, effective classifier, cheapest, best. Oh yeah, by the way, g'day, my name's Stuart Chignell, and welcome to my channel, which is an eclectic mix of all sorts of things. But today we're talking prospecting and classifying, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. It's always good to have friends back. Right, where were we? Classifying. You know that you classify your, hopefully, gold-bearing dirt to get rid of all the boring stuff that we're not interested in. But the job we want to do is to get rid of that stuff. It's not actually to classify it. Classifying it, and I know classifying, this is how people in the prospecting community talk about classifying, but I'm a scientist, so forgive me. Classifying is where you put the material into a particular box. So it's a less than a 1/2 inch mesh, or it's less than a 6mm mesh, or it's between a 1mm mesh and a 0.75mm mesh. That's classification. What we are generally doing as prospectors is really a process of sorting and just getting rid of the stuff we don't want. That means what we need a classifier to do is different to what a geologist needs or what a soil scientist needs, or etc. We just want to get rid of the stuff that's boring. And the tool that is awesome for that and is most efficient at that is not a mesh. Mesh is actually a bit slow to sort through material. And I'm surprised that there's not a commercial product that does what I'm about to show you, because it's not as if this technology is unknown to the prospecting community. And what I'm talking about are grids or bars. Now, in a high banker, you use the grizzly bars to quickly and efficiently get rid of the material. You don't use a mesh in a high banker because a mesh clogs up very easily. The grizzly bars just allow the larger rocks and gravels to slide right out of the sluice, and the smaller pieces and the heavy pieces fall through the bars and then into the sluice box where they get processed and the heavy's caught. Very, very quick, very, very efficient. Why are there no commercially available classifiers that use this principle? Because there are in the commercial mining industry. A lot of the sieves and the screens that they use are not meshes, they're actually bars. For example, these commercially available products they are a mesh because you've got wires going in both directions. But if you see the way the wires are aligned, you have bars. You have bars. The bars are very thin because they're only 1mm or 0.5mm wire. The horizontal wires are there to hold the bars at an even spacing. They're not there to provide a mesh. They're just to keep the bars at the right distance apart. Now, if someone's got a source of these commercial mining grills or sieves, that would be awesome, because this would save it. You could get that material, you could make it into a classifier, and that would be fabulous. But I haven't found one, and I've looked. So what are the other alternatives? Well, barbecue grills are a really good one. It's gone. But that's because I've already pinched it. Far out those bats. The shelves off fridges are a really good one. But the one I want to show you today, which is just awesome, is this one. It's a cover off a pedestal fan. Now, if you have seen, you've probably seen these thrown out, you've probably thrown out some yourself. But this is a fabulous classifier. Fortunately, it comes with a hole which you need to fill in, and I've just filled it in with some of the mesh that I made from one of my other classifiers. Just a little off-cut of punch steel, but you could put in some sort of mesh there. These bars very, very, very quickly pass material through them. And you might say, oh, but they're all different distances and that's a bit bent and that's not going to give me an even sorting of my material. And that is true. And who cares? Like, we don't want to actually classify the material into particular size gradients. We just want to get rid of the stuff that's boring, the stuff that we don't want, and get to the stuff where the gold is. So yes, you get a variation in what gets passed through this, but you size this center bit to be what you expect to find, whether it be gems or nuggets of a particular size. You size that so it's bigger than that, so all the stuff that you want goes through it. That's all you care about. All you care about is the interesting stuff that stays behind. Now, what happens if you get a nugget here? Well, it's possible, but heavy material, stuff that we're interested in, is going to be on the bottom. If you're doing a sideways motion, then you turn it through 90 degrees and do another sideways motion, like you do when you're prospecting for gems, the heavies are going to congregate in the center and they're going to go through those larger holes. Also, the heavies are going to be on the bottom. So if you're quite violent with your throwing this about, then the heavies on the bottom are going to get, all the material is going to get thrown to one edge, and the heavy stuff on the bottom is going to go through those larger spacings on the edge. The lighter stuff on top is not going to fall through. So not only, mostly you're sorting by size, but you're also to a little degree sorting by density. And since the low density stuff we don't care about, it's boring, we toss it out. These are so quick and so efficient and so cheap. Now, this one is just been put together in a hurry. It worked, so I've never gone back to fix it. Just several bolts through the holes to hold it together. But geez, it's quick. It is so quick. So I hope that was useful. If any of the commercial prospecting manufacturers start producing hand classifiers with bars instead of mesh, I hope they give me a shout out, because I've given them a decent idea. But if they do, you don't need to buy it, because you just make one of these for free. Well, you maybe have to buy the mesh in the middle or whatever, but yeah. I thought I'd finished, but I've just noticed something. I'm here chasing heavier gold that I've been finding downstream, and I'm trying to find the source. And I think one of the sources is these heavily eroded banks. But look at that. This is layers and layers of silt that are built up from regular rains, and that is a flood event. That massive depositing of gravel. So that is a fabulous place to look for gold, at that interchange, that interface just there. The problem is that my tripod might be in the way, and it might be a bit hairy digging that out, because that's one big ironbark, and they are seriously heavy trees. Not that any tree of any size is light, so I might have to leave that for another day till it falls down.